From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, the controversial topic of carrying concealed firearms without a permit.
Plus, dramatic video of a semi losing control and slamming into a Nebraska State Trooper's cruiser.
But first, more testimony in the Felipe Vasquez murder trial. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Vasquez is facing first-degree murder in the death of Lincoln Police investigator Mario Herrera.
Today, testimony was given by more law enforcement officers, really painting a picture for the jury of what unraveled that day of August 26, 2020. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez joins us live from the Platte County Courthouse and gives us a recap of day 3 of the trial.
Yes, Rod and Megan, I am in the media room here inside the courtroom just as the jury was just let out, so we're trying to preserve their identity during this trial. The morning began with continued testimony from investigator Cole Jennings, who reported markings on his legs that he believed to be from the shooting. Jennings is the victim of counts 3 and 4 allegedly committed by Vasquez, which are attempted assault on an officer and use of a firearm to commit a felony. The defense attorney tried to argue against it.
So it's possible that what struck you was not the result of gunfire because you didn't see a flash, you didn't hear a gun's shot, but what hit you was the result of the glass breaking. Am I correct about that?
The way I recall it is thinking that it was possible it was a gunshot that caused the debris to hit my legs.
But it's possible, correct? But it's also possible it was a result of debris that came out of the window and broke.
I can't say for sure.
Okay.
LPD officer Troy Axmit was with family members on the side of the home and spoke about what happened when they heard glass breaking.
One of the females were concerned and started to go toward the front. I grabbed a hold of her to prevent her from going too far into the area that I was concerned with and to watch the back of the house if somebody were to exit that part of the area.
Police say Vasquez jumped out of a window and ran. Video shows other officers searching for him. LPD officer Brian Pohl was in charge of staying with investigator Herrera and rode with him to the hospital.
Did you do anything during the time that you were riding with him to the hospital?
I attempted to console him as he was in obvious pain and agony.
Pohl was later with Axmit to turn in Herrera's magazine cartridges for round count to confirm Herrera never shot his gun.
Each magazine can hold 17 rounds, and each magazine contains 17 rounds.
Once the suspect was located at a house off of 34th Street, officers took precautions before arresting the individual.
I know that they had launched a drone, used a PA system, and basically just took their time to make sure that we dissolved the threat.
The prosecution will continue questioning their witnesses tomorrow, and court will resume at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Columbus, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News.
All right, Ariana, thank you so much for that live report. Heated debate today between senators on the concealed carry bill.
The bill would allow registered gun owners to carry a concealed weapon without getting a permit. Several amendments have been proposed. One would require those in metropolitan areas to still get a permit. This amendment was proposed after concerns from the Omaha Police Department, but several senators stood in opposition to the amendment.
If we want to pass a bill based on the premise that the right to keep and bear arms is a constitutional right, that should apply to every single Nebraskan in the state. We can't say this shall not be infringed unless you live in Omaha. Then it's okay.
Well, much more on this bill and hear from both sides in our newscast tonight at 10 o'clock. Senators did advance a bill to the second round that would require the governor to apply for federal rental aid.
Under the American Rescue Plan Act, Nebraska could get $120 million in rent and utilities assistance. Governor Ricketts has said the money isn't necessary. He says the pandemic is over and Nebraska is not a welfare state. Now, the bill to make him apply for this advanced on a 29-7 vote. No word yet, though, on when it will be debated again. And speaking of the American Rescue Plan,
Lincoln's mayor announced $12 million in grants from it will go to 6 businesses and organizations to help train workers.
These awards represent major investments in workforce development for key industries in our community, including childcare and early childhood education, the health sciences, information technology, manufacturing, welding, and youth employment.
The funding aims to drive and sustain workforce development as businesses continue recovering from the lasting effects of the pandemic. All recipients will also be enrolled in the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. And even those businesses who did not receive workforce grants will be able to enroll in that as well. Lincoln firefighters battled an apartment fire around 7:30 this morning.
that's right, when they showed up near 12th and A Streets, smoke was pouring from a 3rd-story window. The crews were able to get the fire knocked down quickly and evacuated the building. The fire was limited to just that one unit. The person who lives there was also able to get out safely.
We did a coordinated fire attack along with search. We did find the occupant of that apartment had self-evacuated, however, had suffered some burns. He has been transported.
Investigators say the cause of the fire was improperly discarded ashes. Total damage is around $40,000.
And just hours before that, Lincoln, Bennett, and Hickman crews battled another fire in the village of Roca. This one began around 4:30 this morning, just north of Saltillo Road on 14th Street. We're told this took more than an hour to fully extinguish. Right now, it's still unclear what caught fire on the property. The Nebraska State Patrol is reminding drivers how dangerous our roads can be even when the snow stops falling.
Overnight, a trooper shared this photo along Interstate 80 in Kimball County. He says snow wasn't even coming down when these semis lost control due to ice-covered roads. You can see one of the semis landed on its side while the other one jackknifed. No word yet on the driver's conditions. And speaking of the State Patrol, today they released some very dramatic video.
It's from last December when one of their troopers' cruisers was hit while he responded to another crash. Take a look. My goodness, talk about a close call. This happened near Elm Creek on I-80, again from last December. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. NSP says it took them a while to get the video since the car was completely destroyed. Here's another view. This is the backseat camera. And NSP commends their trooper for staying alert and helping to get everyone out of the way.
All right, let's get to your first forecast now with Chief Meteorologist John Dissauer. And yeah, we're doing okay today after last night's snow.
Yeah, it's some snow in spots. Some places getting as much as 7 inches of snow in southeast Nebraska. Higher amounts should you go further to the south, which I'll show you a little later in the newscast. Otherwise, we've had some snow on the ground in Beatrice. Reports of anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches of snow down in Gage County and around the Beatrice area. Take a live look right now from Lincoln, from Honda of Lincoln, off to the southwest. We've had some breaks in the clouds as advertised this afternoon. Seeing some sunshine out there, trying to warm things up a little bit. We didn't warm up that much. Temperatures getting into the upper 20s this afternoon. 24 right now in Beatrice. It's 25 in Newark and 24 in Grand Island. Winds as of this hour, 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's giving us wind chill values into the teens to low 20s. So I think it's a chilly evening coming our way over the next several hours. Now we've got cloudy skies still overhead right now. I do think we'll see the clouds beginning to break up as we go through the overnight. Skies turning mostly clear overnight. Maybe a few more clouds down towards the Kansas-Nebraska state line. For the rest of this evening, 24 degrees by 8, 22 degrees by 10 o'clock. We will see temperatures dropping down into the teens as we go into tomorrow morning, but after that, we start to see a gradual warm-up coming our way. Just how warm it gets and when, it's in my Storm Alert Team forecast.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at world news now. Top U.S. intelligence officials are warning Congress that Russia could use chemical weapons against Ukrainians.
This after one of Russia's most horrific strikes in this war, a deadly attack on a Ukrainian children's hospital. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest on the Russia-Ukraine crisis.
The global condemnation growing one day after a deadly Russian airstrike on a maternity and children's hospital in Mariupol. Ukrainian officials say the attack killed 3 people, including a child, and wounded 17 others. In an on-camera statement, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov confirmed his military was responsible for the attack on the hospital, but claimed it was really a base for Ukrainian radicals. Hours later, a new story. Russia's defense minister said Russian troops were not responsible and claimed the hospital bombing was staged. Ukraine's President Zelensky called the attack on innocent civilians at a medical facility a war crime. Zelensky going on to say Russia's invasion of his country will backfire. Meanwhile, in Turkey, talks between Russia and Ukraine's top diplomats concluding without any progress toward ending the war. In a remarkable statement, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov denying Russia had invaded Ukraine. He added Moscow is ready to continue negotiations, but still claiming Ukraine poses a threat to their security. Ukraine's foreign minister seeming to cast doubt on how productive any future talks would be.
Russia is not in a position at this point to establish a ceasefire. They seek a surrender. This is not what they are going to get.
Almost 2.5 million refugees have fled the country, most of them escaping to Poland. Vice President Harris is there, meeting with Poland's leaders and with refugees, promising another $50 million in U.S. humanitarian assistance.
We are here to support you, and you are not alone.
And U.S. intelligence officials are on high alert for cyber attacks the Kremlin might launch in response to American military aid to Ukraine and the severe economic sanctions being imposed by the U.S. and Europe. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Still to come on the news tonight, a battle between the U.S. and Russia, but it's not on Earth.
The latest on the threats from Russia and one astronaut's danger in outer space. Stay with us. Now to a potential standoff in space involving Russia.
It's threatening the safe return to Earth of an American astronaut on the International Space Station in response to crippling U.S. sanctions against Russia. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the story.
As Russia continues attacking Ukraine and in turn being met with sanctions by countries and private companies, 227 miles above Earth, the International Space Station, now in the crosshairs of potentially earth-shattering geopolitical tensions, comes as the Kremlin lashes out against American sanctions. The head of the Russian space agency, Dmitry Rogozin, posting this video on social media, threatening to abandon American astronaut Mark Vande Hei at the station. He's supposed to return home on a Russian ship in 3 weeks. Former NASA astronaut Scott Kelly saying he felt compelled to speak up.
I never thought I would ever hear anything so outrageous.
The pair exchanging words on Twitter, Rogozin tweeting out another video of technicians covering up the U.S. and Japanese flags on a rocket, followed by this ominous threat, suggesting that without Russian help to move the ISS away from space junk, the ISS would crash into America or other countries.
I think it's just a crazy threat. You know, it's not really based in reality. So we do have the ability to control the orbit of the space station independent from the Russian Space Agency. So I don't see that happen.
For the past 24 years, the U.S. and Russia have worked together building and maintaining the ISS. Earlier this week, after halting sales of a Russian-made engine used by the American Atlas rockets, Rogozin said the U.S. would need broomsticks to get to space. Overnight, SpaceX firing back as it launched its Falcon rocket, carrying satellites to orbit.
Time to let the American broomstick fly and hear the sounds of freedom. LD is go for launch.
Falcon 9, Falcon 410.
And the big question now is whether Mark Vande Hei will be stranded in space if the Russians don't allow him aboard to return to Earth. NASA telling ABC News today that unless something changes, the plan is still for Mark Vande Hei to return as scheduled on March 30th. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
A cool winter-like morning and day around southeast Nebraska. For some, getting some snow, others not getting a whole lot at all. Head down towards Du Bois, where they picked up 7 inches of snow. Fairbury had 5, McCook had 5 inches, Beaver City 4 inches of snow, Chapman at 3, and Beatrice at 2 inches of snow. Heaviest snows were just to the south. We missed out, at least in Nebraska, by about 40 to 60 miles, just south of the state line. This is where the heaviest snows fell overnight and early on this morning. Here's some of the high totals. Sharon Springs, Kansas coming in at 13 inches. Quinter, Kansas at 13 inches. Wallace, Kansas also 13 inches. Zurich, Kansas at 12.7 and Cortland, Kansas at 9. So that's where all the heaviest snow is, just to the south. Take a look at the time lapse from this morning in Grand Island. I-80 at Highway 281 showing you the snow that was on the ground. They had about an inch and a half of snow out towards Grand Island. But with the March sun, look how quickly this begins to erode on the interstates, then on the shoulders, and a little bit in the medians as well, and more so out into the fields. You can see a lot of the erosion taking place as the sun was doing a pretty good job of melting some of that snow. Temperature-wise around Lancaster County, it's in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. A bit cooler further to the south in Firth, where it's 24. It's 24 in Milford. High out in Seward, where it's 26 degrees. It's 28 degrees at the capital city right now. 24, as I mentioned, in Beatrice, 25 in Friend. It is 25 degrees in York, and 24 degrees right now in Grand Island. The rest of this evening, we're going to have some clouds around. I think as we go through the overnight, sky should begin to clear. We will see our temperatures dropping down into the teens by morning, so a chilly start and a bit colder if you've got snow on the ground. So single digits as you head down towards Beatrice, Fairbury, and Hebron, single digits in Hastings and Kearney, 11 in Grand Island, 11 in York, 14 in Seward, as well as in Lincoln, and down to 11 degrees in Columbus. For tomorrow, I think we're going to see a mainly sunny day. Temperatures will be warmer than today. Not by a lot, but at least we get back up above freezing tomorrow afternoon, with highs getting up to right around 33 degrees in the capital city, 33 for you in Seward, 34 in Beatrice, 32 in York. Now the winds tomorrow will pick up out of the northwest, sustain 10 to 20 miles per hour with some gusts to 30 miles per hour. Now we are going to start to see temperatures gradually warming over the next couple of days. Saturday will be just a little bit warmer. Sunday right now looks to be fantastic, and much of next week we'll see warmer temperatures than normal as well. A brief cool down on Monday, but still temperatures above normal. But Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we start to see some really nice weather coming our way. And the latest 8 to 14 day outlook suggests much above normal temperatures for eastern Nebraska, Kansas, as well as Missouri for days 8 through 14. So for this weekend, mostly sunny and cool on Saturday, high of 43. Our normal high is 51. On Sunday, we'll see sunny skies and warmer. Should be really nice with a high temperature of 65 degrees. Beyond that, we start keeping things on the mild side. 56 Monday, 62 Tuesday, 70s possible by Wednesday. Right now, we are still keeping a chance for a spotty shower, the forecast for St. Patrick's Day next Thursday. Next Friday, a chance for an isolated shower with temperatures in the 50s, but even going into next weekend, temperatures remaining above normal. Just a reminder, on Sunday, we want to set our clocks ahead 1 hour. Do it before you go to bed Saturday night so you're not missing anything Sunday morning. Also, the other thing to keep in mind, we always tell you to change the batteries in your smoke detectors, but also change the batteries in your weather radios so that way you're ready to go for this coming severe weather season.
Some good reminders there.
Yeah, the rest of that 10-day looks really beautiful, John.
Very spring-like.
All right, thank you very much. It was a negative day on Wall Street, the Dow falling 112 points. NASDAQ also down 126. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source. Finally tonight, move over. A cow on the loose turns a packed West Coast highway into the wild, wild west.
That's right. Jeremy Roth has tonight's Take a Look at This.
A traffic situation involving a wayward cow on a SoCal highway can only be described as utterly crazy. And that's no bull. Hope you like cow puns, everybody, because here we go. The stakes were high on the 210 freeway in Los Angeles when the beefy livestock went on the lam, flanked by emergency officials in a hot-to-trot but not exactly fleet-of-foot pursuit.
The cow's going as fast as it can right now, which is about 3 miles per hour.
Real quick, what's with the plastic horse? Maybe it was a high-steed pursuit. But before Caltrans had to change its move-over law to a move-over law, officials were able to direct the highway heifer to a parking lot where multiple attempts to lasso the animal failed.
It's gone from a pursuit to the rodeo.
Eventually, it was steered towards a nearby ranch where a roper's bovine intervention ended a wild scene that was very rare, or at least medium rare. Speaking of rarities, scientists are puzzled by the discovery of a 400-year-old hunting bow that was found in Alaska's Lake Clark National Park and Preserve. The 54-inch bow, carbon dated to around 1562, was found in 2 feet of water and very well preserved, possibly by the cold and lack of oxygen. However, the suspected origins of the bow versus the known indigenous inhabitants of the area have left experts with unanswered questions about how it got there.
It's very rare. It's very rare for us to come across material like this.
Or take a look at this. I'm Jeremy Roth.
Let's get a recap of the weather with John, and really no huge bumps in the road as we look in the next 10 days, right?
No, not really. We're just kind of going up as we go through each day into next week with temperatures in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. This evening will be a little on the chilly side. Temperatures in the 20s through 8 o'clock, low 20s by 10. Through the overnight, I suspect we'll see clouds beginning to erode, so turning mostly clear. By morning, temperatures will drop down into the teens, so definitely a little chilly tomorrow morning. Good news is there won't be a whole lot of wind, so not much of a wind chill factor, I think, tomorrow morning. But we do start warming things back up. We get back above freezing tomorrow afternoon with highs in the 30s.
All right. Thank you, John, and thank you all for joining us.
World News is next, and we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Seafood is back at Amigos. Everyone gets their favorites, even my picky eaters. And I don't have to cook. But the Baja fish tacos belong to Mama.